Hi, my name is Jim and I was retired. Okay, I'm a boomer and I'm already retired, 7 years now. But many of you who may be in younger generations are still planning for your retirement. In this week's video, I'm going to look at two recent studies that are pointing to a generational shift in retirement. Stay tuned. In my DIY retirement, I do a lot of reading on the subject of retirement. Now, I'm not a professional retirement planner. I'm not out to sell you anything on this channel. I'm just here to share entertaining ideas that may help you as you plan for your retirement, whether it comes as you planned or suddenly and unexpectedly, like mine did 7 years ago. Now, in the past week, I've been doing a lot of reading about last week's subject, how long people expect to live. And one such study was actually from the Northwestern Mutual Life Insurance Company. Their 2023 Planning and Progress study found that 28% of those surveyed expect to live to 100. What is surprising is that there's a generational breakdown to that question. Of the boomers in the survey, only 20% thought that they would live to 100. Slightly more of Gen X, the next generation down, 22% thought that they'd reach that goal. But among the younger generations, the millennials and Gen Z, 40% of the respondents expect to live to 100. Now, these younger generations also expect to start their retirement at younger ages. Among all respondents, the median age for beginning retirement was 65, and that was up from the last 2 years that they did this study. Now, if you look at the mean age for generations, Gen Z expects to retire at 60. Millennials expect to retire at 63. Gen X expects to retire at 65. Now, the boomers in this survey are those that are still working, and they expect to retire at 71. But please note that the chart says 26% of the respondents were already retired, and I'm guessing a lot of those were us boomers. The survey also noted that Gen Z is the most confident that they will be financially prepared for retirement when the time comes. Of the boomers who are not yet retired, about half of them say they will be prepared. Gen X respondents, the next generation down, were the most pessimistic. Only 45% say they will be prepared. These generational patterns in retirement also show up in the TransAmerica Institute survey, Post-Pandemic Realities, the Retirement Outlook of the Multi-Generational Workforce. Now, note that this study only looked at a sampling of 5,000 or so workers 18 and older who are working for for-profit companies with one or more employees. So those that work for nonprofits or governmental agencies or entrepreneurs may not be fairly represented in this study. In this survey, the median longevity age, how long you think you're going to live, is 88. Only 13% thought that they would live to 100 and older. Again, they found generational differences. The median longevity age for baby boomers was 90, but it was 85 for Generation X and 88 for millennials, and then again 90 for Gen Z, the youngest cohort. The TransAmerica survey also asked about retirement age. 52% of all workers expect to work past age 65 or do not plan to retire. About half of the baby boomers expect to or are already working past 70 and do not plan to retire. Gen Z and millennials are more likely than Gen X and baby boomers to expect to retire before 65. Now, a couple of findings caught my eye If you follow this channel, you know that I believe one reason I was able to survive a crash landing of my retirement 7 years ago was a substantial cash cushion of up to 3 years of expenses. This question asked, how much emergency savings do you have? And it was far less for even baby boomers and Gen X workers who really ought to be building up those cash cushions as they approach retirement. If you look at the median savings at the bottom of this chart, you can see each generation has room to improve. If you are in your 50s, you also need to wake up to the reality that any job loss due to health or unemployment could be the start of an unexpected retirement. The survey also included the workers' estimates of retirement savings needed for retirement, starting with a modest estimate of $250,000 for Gen Z to $750,000 for baby boomers. Now, interestingly, about 45% said they guessed at that figure. About 21% said that they used a financial calculator or worksheet to come up with the right answer. Now, about 3 and 4 said that they had a financial strategy for retirement, but only 29% said they had a written retirement plan. Millennials, interestingly, were the most likely to have a written plan at 34%. Yet only about a third, 34%, said that they had a backup plan in case they retired sooner than expected. Gen X and baby boomers really need to prepare for that retirement, whether it comes as expected or if it comes suddenly. I know I was retired at 59 before I expected. Now, fortunately, I did have a backup plan with that healthy cash cushion to survive the crash landing. Now, some thoughts about both of these studies. I was in the field of public relations for about 30 years. And when you look at the story on a survey, understand the formation of the survey begins with a communications objective that supports a business purpose. So when you read one of these stories, you have to understand what was their business purpose and how did they frame the questions and the sampling to shape the results. Now, the goal here is customers like to know that you understand them. So you come up with a survey that proves that you understand them. So when plan administrators like Northwestern or TransAmerica divide up generations like this, think about why they are doing that. Maybe they're trying to encourage the Gen Z to encourage greater savings at a younger age, and that's positive for them and for the Gen Zs. Maybe they're trying to scare the Gen X into a little bit more discipline as they approach retirement, and that's good for them and the Gen X. But think about what the business purpose of the survey was. Now, what I'd like to see is a paradigm shift in retirement planning, a pair of dimes. Now, the first dime is to start early with your savings. Gen Z, you're off to a good start and keep it up throughout your career. And the second dime is a do-it-yourself, own-it-yourself DIY approach. Keep your ears and eyes and mind open to learning more about your investments and your savings, and keep your wallet closed to asset under management fees. If you must use a professional, use a trusted advisor, and then weigh the information that you receive yourself. Be your own fiduciary. Now, if you do have to use a professional planner, choose an advice-only fee planner. Hey, please like and subscribe to this channel if you like entertaining ideas from a DIY retiree. The more likes and subscriptions that this channel gets, the higher it will be in the search results. I'll conclude with my standard warning. I am not a professional planner. I have no initials after my name. So take these as entertaining ideas from one educated consumer to another. Always do your own due diligence and seek out a professional if you need one. See you next week.